I've been doing pre-grades and evaluating cards for customers for 5+ years now. Actually, it's probably going on 6 years. And today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and I'm going to show you exactly what I do for each and every customer. I'm going to show you my exact process and what I do. I take notes on every single card that I get in, and I let the customer know what that grade will be, and I show them why it will be that, or at least in my opinion. I have about an 85% hit rate when it comes to my evaluation of every card that I've done over the lifespan of doing this for customers. I am only charging $1 per card on this exact service. $1 per card for me to look at it, take notes, and share those notes with you. And then there's a charge for sending it off to PSA. I cover all the expenses going to PSA and coming back to me from PSA. That's insurance, paperwork, all of it. And I take it all out of your hands. PSA has been raising prices recently, so right now every card that goes in is $32 per card. But like I said, that covers all of the expenses that go into this. You can send your cards to me for $1 a piece, and I'll look at them, and you can get them back. Just pay the shipping to get them back, and you can send them in yourself. Or, as I said, I'll take care of all the paperwork, all of the work, all of the insurance and shipping, and I'll take all of that for $32 a card going into PSA. All right, let's get into this. Let me show you exactly what my process is. All right, so the first thing I do is when I get your cards, I fill out my spreadsheet with each individual card. I fill it out with every card that I get in. I put it in the spreadsheet so that I have it pre-filled so that I can just pop in here, type my grade, type my notes, and over here is customer information. I blacked it out so that you can't see it. But anyways, I fill all this spreadsheet out as I'm going, but I like to fill out my cards beforehand so that I can just pop in the grades and the notes real quick. All right, so now that that is done, I will show you. I have a stack of baseball cards here. I'll actually pull out some Pokemon cards. We'll go through that as well. This is going to be a quick crash course on what to look for when you're doing cards, when you're doing grading, but I'm going to show you my process. So the first thing I do when I get your card is I check the centering. So I'm looking at centering, just eyeballing it. And actually the centering looks really good on this one. I'll do the front and the back. The front looks pretty good on this. The back also looks pretty decent. But there is a centering tool. There are many of them out there. I'm actually in the market for a new one. My old one kind of got crappy, so I had to buy a new one. I tried this one out. I found it on eBay. It was cheap, and I'm not a fan of this one. But anyways, this really helps newbies try to check the centering. A lot of times there will be no border, no clear border anyways. And you can hold this right up there, and it will show you the centering on it. Like I said, this one's not the best, but it's getting me by right now. After I check the centering looks good on this particular card. I will pull it out of the top loader, and I will check the surface. So I have an overhead light here. You can see this line right here. This line is very helpful for checking the surface. So I tilt the card, and I check all of the surface to see if there are any imperfections. I'm looking through the camera right now, but I'm going to change the angle and look at the card with the angle I need to check the surface, and the surface looks good. Then I move on to the corners. Are there any soft corners? Now, I will say I see a soft corner. This is going to be tough to see on camera. There is a white spot down there that's part of the pattern, but it is soft, this corner right here. And I will clearly note that. As you can see over here, this one is a little bit sharper. It's going to be tough to pick up on camera, guys, but I'm just taking you through the process. So it's got a soft corner. Bang, knocks it down to a 9. And actually, with my, I would say, front surface, it's going to take it down to an 8. So I'm automatically calling this an 8 just based on that. Centering's good, no scratches, the surface is fine, edges look good. We'll flip it over on the back, and you can see that corner looks even worse on the back. And again, well, I can zoom in, I guess. Let me zoom in. Look at that. You can see that corner very clear. That is going to be a 7/8 corner. That corner is going to ding it really hard. And actually, this one is soft as well. So, and I tip it, so I'll take it back. And I check the surface here too. I use the light to check the surface as well. So, centering is checked, corners are checked, surface is checked, edges are checked. I have checked all of that. I will put it back in the sleeve and the top loader. And then I will go right to my notes after each individual card. So the evaluation is done. I write my grade down, which I had a 7/8. Hop over to the notes. I type in corners, because that is the issue. And that's it. That's all I really need to do. I will go through and I will fill all of these out for each individual card and send those, and then I will send those notes over to each customer. You get to see exactly what the card is going to grade, and you get to choose what gets sent to PSA. After the charge for each individual card evaluation, there is no charge unless you decide to send it to PSA. I will show a couple more cards here just because there are so many different cards out there. So we're going to look at a select card here. This is an Optichrome, so it has a little bit more of a shine to the surface. And I checked centering real quick. You can see that the borders are all even. And the same with the back. You're judging from the bottom to the bottom of the letters, top of the letters to the top. Centering's a little bit off top to bottom, but on the back there is more leeway. We will pull this card out of the top loader and check the surface. These Optichrome cards, you really can see the surface. I gotta adjust my light here. You can really see the surface on these, moving that light across it. And the surface looks good here. There is a slight scratch up here. So light, so I would call that a 9/10. I don't even know if the camera is going to pick it up. Yeah, there it is, right there. So that's going to knock it down to a 9/10 because it does have that imperfection. You never know what the grader is going to feel that day. Is he going to think that that scratch is enough to knock it down to a 9? And there are some fingerprints on the back side of this, so that is the next thing I will do, is take a microfiber cloth, and it's going to be tough to do on here on camera, but I will clean the surface. And yeah, that came pretty clean. This is about the only cleaning I will do for a card. I have a solution, a water alcohol solution that I will use for really dirty cards. I will spray it on the cloth before I wipe, and then I wipe it off. But I didn't need it for this card. So the surface looks good on this too, and the only defect that I saw is that light scratch. So I will put that down in my notes as a 9/10. Come on, example, I'm going to grab a card that I have already evaluated. I had a 9 for off center on this one, but I wanted to show you the process with Pokemon too. This is a Japanese card, but I will show you what I have going on. I had it for off center. You can see that the bottom border is a little bit thicker than the top border, and the way that PSA is grading the centering nowadays, that is enough to knock it down. It is out of the 45-55 centering, so that was enough to knock it down. So not only are you looking at centering, you're looking at surface, just like sports cards. You're looking at the edges. Flip over the back. A lot of times with these Japanese cards, they're in pretty good shape. So this one is in really good shape. The surface is great. The edges are good. No whitening on the corners. And that is about as fast as I will go through it. So I have gotten a lot faster with my evaluations over time. And that's a good thing, because that means I can get to more cards. So I will tell you, it takes me roughly about a minute per card to look at it. I've gone through and I timed it all out. It takes me about a minute. I'm guessing that PSA is not spending any more time than that on your cards. There are some cards that I will take a little bit more time on, and if there's something that catches my eye that I feel like needs more attention, I will check that out. But on average, it's about a minute per card. So after I go through and I evaluate your cards, I take my notes, I share the link to the spreadsheet with you, and you get to choose what goes into PSA. Been doing this for 5+ years, almost 6 years, and I have had a lot of positive feedback for my services, and I think it'd be great if you jumped in too. This isn't necessarily just to get more customers. I wanted to share this information for anybody that's curious on what to look for when you're looking at cards. I could make a more detailed description on what I'm looking at. If you're interested, I could go card by card and show you more. Just let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested in a video like that, and I will do it. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.